Hello friends, welcome to Affairs Cloud Learn to Lead. This is Ashu and today we will discuss very important current affair of 15th of September 2021. You can see two best images of the day, but today we will discuss very important and the most important current affair. So watch this video till last. But I am requesting you all the students that you can download our application Careers Cloud from the description box link. After downloading, you can log in with your email ID and then click on this crack current affair section to subscribe our current affairs for 1 year as well as for 2 years. Both the subscription prices are very much low, but we are covering 90 to 95% of that current affair which can come in every type of exam. This is the hard work of Affairs Cloud team. But how we are covering this current affair? We are providing you daily section. In the daily section, you will receive three things. One is the detail, second is the question and answer format, and third is the quiz section, which you can attempt on our application on daily basis. Next is the weekly section. Again, you will receive three things. One is the detailed current affair, second is question and answer format, and third is the quiz section, which you can attempt on our application on weekly basis. Next is the monthly section. Again, you will see four type of PDFs. One is the detailed current affair, second is the question and answer format, third is the best 100 current affair that is also provided in the form of question and answer, and the pocket PDF. It means the 2-liner and the 3-liners current affair will be provided to you so that you can revise the current affair very quickly. But to enhance your performance further, we are also providing topic-wise current affair, and we are covering 20 most important topics which are very important for every type of exam. It means if you want to cover all the topic-related news, one topic-related news just from single PDF, then you can use this topic-wise PDF. And if you are a banking awareness student, it means if you are appearing for your banking exam, we are providing three things. One is detail, second is the question and answer format, third is the quiz section. But all these things only related to banking and economy, and you can attempt our quiz related to economy and banking only on our application. And this quiz is on monthly basis. Next is the exam PDF. It means you want to cover all the past current affair of 2021 just from single PDF, then you can use this exam PDF. We are providing detailed budget and economic survey. Also expected question and answer will be provided to you so that you can recall that examiner can make these type of questions from budget and economic survey. And if you are appearing for your respective state exam, then we are also providing state current affairs, and we are covering every state and union territory. So all these things comes under only one subscription. So you have to just download our application Careers Cloud. You have to log in with the email ID, then click on this crack current affairs section to subscribe our current affairs for 1 year as well as for 2 years. Both the subscription prices are low, but if you're a new student, you are just starting your preparation, then I am advising you to subscribe for 2 years, because there is no big difference between the 1 year subscription and the 2 year subscription if you're comparing it as a price wise. But we are providing 10% extra discount on both subscription if you are using this code ASH10. And if you have any query, you can email us or you can call us on this number. So let's start today's current affair, that is 15th of September 2021. But I am requesting you all the students that you have to like this video, you have to share this video as maximum as possible, and you have to subscribe this channel if you're new on this platform. And you can join our Telegram group from the description box link. And here is first question, in the most important question, only one question we will discuss. Which is the best business school or the B school in India according to QS Global MBA ranking, which is also known as Global 2022. So first of all, you have to remember this ranking is released by a very important organization which is known as QS. It is London based organization, and this organization released global MBA institutions or the schools ranking. And according to this ranking, from Indian side, IIM Ahmedabad is on the top. So answer of this question is A. So it has adjudged the Indian Institute of Management Ahmedabad, which is situated in Gujarat, as the best business school in India. Overall, its rank is 46th, but you have to remember from Indian side, this is on the top. And IIM Bengaluru is also on the top list, second top most institute, which is basically a business school all over India. It is IIM Bengaluru, and it is on the 50th global rank. So these two institutions are on the top 50. So you can see here World University ranking, and it is global MBA colleges, and this is the ranking of 2022, and it is IIM Ahmedabad. Top business school ranking in India, IIM Bengaluru is on the 50th position. So only two institutions which are in the top 50 all over list. So QS Global MBA ranking Global 2022 is released by very famous organization of London. This is known as Quarterly Siemens, and this is in London. And IIM Ahmedabad has achieved the 46th rank in the overall list, and around 280 business schools from across the globe was listed under this list. And the list is topped by Stanford Graduate School of Business, which is situated in United States of America. And the list features a total of 7 institutions from Indian side, like IIM Calcutta is also there, Indian School of Business is also there, Indian Institute of Management Indore is there, Indian Institute of Management Lucknow is there. So total 7 institutions are there in the 280 list, but out of top 50 institutions, only 2 institutions are there. One is IIM Ahmedabad, second is IIM Bengaluru. So you can remember these 2 institutions. So this is the most important question. So you have to remember this very importantly. Now we are moving to next question. So most important question was only one. Now we are moving to very important question section. You have to like this video, share this video as maximum as possible, and please subscribe this channel, and you can join our Telegram group from the description box link. Here is the question. What is the name of road safety project which was launched by Nitin Gadkari ji to reduce road accident? And name of this project is iRaste. So answer of this question is C. iRaste stands for Intelligent Solution for Road Safety through Technology and Engineering. So remember, the keyword here is iRaste, and it is just to reduce the road accident, and it is launched by our Union Minister of Road Transport. It is Nitin Gadkari. Constituency is Nagpur in Maharashtra. You can also see here Nitin Gadkari ji, and this is the iRaste. You have to remember this keyword. And iRaste, it is a 2-year pilot project, and it is only for the Nagpur, Maharashtra, because Nitin Gadkari ji constituency is Nagpur. That's why he launched this project in the Nagpur, and it is a 2-year project. And it stands for Intelligent Solutions for Road Safety through Technology and Engineering, and its main objective to enhance road safety and reduce road accidents in the Nagpur area. So it utilizes artificial intelligence technology to provide better results, and the initiative will bring down almost 50% of the road accident through this artificial technology. And after 2 years, or you can say after its successful implementation, it can be extended to other cities as well. So you have to remember, it is launched only for the Nagpur city. And how you can remember? Because the Nitin Gadkari ji constituency is Nagpur, and name of this platform is iRaste. Now you can also remember the other initiative which were launched by center government or the state government, like iRakhwali. iRakhwali was launched by Punjab government, and it is to boost the state government motto to protect greenery and environment. So you have to remember, it is by the Punjab government. Next is Harit Path. It is launched by Union Minister for Road Transport and Highways again, and it is to monitor and track the tree plantation along the national highways. So this is again launched by Nitin Gadkari ji. Next is Elements application. It was launched by Vice President Venkaiah Naidu ji, and it is India's first social media super application for audio, video calls and chats, etc. So like WhatsApp, you can say. So it is Elements application. It is launched by Vice President Venkaiah Naidu. So you can remember all these. Moving to next question. What is the name of the first satellite and nuclear missile tracking ship which was launched by India recently? So the keyword here is, it is India's first satellite and nuclear missile tracking ship, and name of this ship is Indian Navy ship Dhruv, or INS Dhruv. So it was launched by National Security Advisor Ajit Doval ji. Ajit Doval. So you can see here, Indian Navy launched the first satellite and the nuclear missile tracking ship, which is known as INS Dhruv, and it is the first of its kind ocean surveillance ship that is capable of tracking ballistic missiles at a long range. And it will also be able to map ocean beds for the research and detection of enemy submarines. So it is built by a very famous company, Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, and you can also remember it was launched with the collaboration of DRDO, that is Defense Research and Development Organization, and NTRO, National Technical Research Organization. This is very important. And you can also remember, with HAL there is one most important organization which is also known as HSL. HSL stands for Hindustan Shipyard Limited. Hindustan Shipyard Limited. And it will provide early warning of attacks by ballistic missile launched from the Pakistan and China especially. And with the induction of this INS Dhruv, India joins France, United Kingdom, USA, Russia and China, who possess and operate these type of ships, which are basically nuclear missile tracking ships and the satellite ships. So you can also remember, the main organization or the main company who built this INS Dhruv is HSL, Hindustan Shipyard Limited, which was established in 1952. Its chairman and managing director is Hemant Khatri, but you don't have to remember, it is not important. Parent ministry is the Ministry of Defense, and its headquarters is in Visakhapatnam in Andhra Pradesh. So you have to remember the keyword INS Dhruv. It is the first satellite and nuclear missile tracking ship, and it will provide early warning of attacks by the ballistic missiles specially launched from the Pakistan and China. Now we are moving to next question. National Hindi Divas is annually observed across India on which day? So we are talking about National Hindi Divas, not the International Hindi Divas or the International Hindi Day. So International Hindi Day was celebrated on 10th of January. So we are talking about only National Hindi Divas. National Hindi Divas is celebrated every year on the 14th of September. So answer of this question is B. So remember, so National Hindi Divas is annually observed across India on the 14th of September to commemorate the adoption of Hindi in the Devanagari script as one of the official language of India. Because in 1950 there was only one official language of India, that was English, and it was added for the 15 years, like till 1965 English was the official language of India. But after that, 1965, we adopted Hindi in the Devanagari script as one of the official language of India. So this day aims to promote the progressive use of Hindi and the enrichment and the promotion of Hindi language. Even Jawaharlal Nehru ji, the first Prime Minister of India, declared 14th September of every year as Hindi Day or the Hindi Divas to highlight the significance of the day on which Hindi became one of the official languages of India along with English in 1965 especially. And the day also marks the birth anniversary of very famous illustrator named as Byohar Rajendra Sinha. I think if you are a student of polity, then you can read this name very clearly. Byohar R. Sinha or the Rajendra Sinha, the illustrator of original final manuscript of the Constitution of India. The illustrator of the original final manuscript of the Constitution of India, and this is the birth anniversary. This 14th September is the birth anniversary of this illustrator. So you can also remember if you can. Otherwise, these type of information can you can remember this question for very long time period. So you can see here Hindi Divas, and it is celebrated on 14th of September 2021. And remember, 10th of January is the International Hindi Day. International Hindi Day. And 12th January is again very famous because it is celebrated as National Youth Day. National Youth Day with the birth anniversary of Swami Vivekananda ji. Move to next question. Who has been appointed as the acting chairperson of the National Company Law Appellate Tribunal, or which is known as NCLAT? So answer of this question is D. Justice M. Venugopal. D is the answer. So Justice M. Venugopal, who is already the judicial member of Chennai bench of NCLAT, has been appointed as the acting chairperson of the National Company Law Appellate Tribunal from 11th of September 2021. Previously, two acting chairperson was there, like one is Justice Bansi Lal was there, and second one AIS Chima, Justice AIS Chima was there, who served as the acting chairpersons of the NCLAT between March 2020 to September 2021. Again now acting chairperson was appointed. It is Justice M. Venugopal, who was the former judge of the Madras High Court. Madras High Court. And you can also remember that the government of India has appointed 31 members to the NCLT, or the National Company Law Tribunal, and the Income Tax Appellate Tribunal. But you have to remember this organization NCLAT, National Company Law Appellate Tribunal. This is important because NCLAT was constituted under Section 410 of the Companies Act, but you don't have to remember. You have to remember it was established in the year of 2016, and its acting chairperson is Justice M. Venugopal. So remember this thing. But another appointments are here very important related to judiciary, like you can see here Justice VM Kanade or Kanad, and he was recently appointed as new Lokayukta. New Lokayukta, which state? Maharashtra. Maharashtra. VM Kanad appointed as new Lokayukta of Maharashtra. Justice A.K. Mishra, very important appointment because he was recently appointed as chairperson of National Human Rights Commission. And Justice Vikramjit Sen, he was recently appointed as chairman of Digital Media Content Regulatory Council, DMRC, Digital Media Content Regulatory Council by the Indian Broadcasting Foundation. So you have to just remember the name of these justices who were appointed in the different commissions or different states. So you can also see here the picture of M. Venugopal, who is appointed as the acting chairperson of National Company Law Appellate Tribunal. Next is 19th Asian Game 2022 were going to be held in which country? So there was news, so that's why I am covering this question, that for the first time in Asian Games, eight electronic sports or e-sports, we can say, are included in the medal events. So that's why this was in news. So we are making this question. 19th Asian Game 2022 are going to be held in China. So answer of this question is C. And it already started on the 10th of September. in 2022. It will be started on the 10th of September 2022 and will be ended on 25th of September 2022. So it will be started on 10th of September, but you don't have to remember exact date. And 8 type of the electronic sports are included in the Asian game. This is the first time. Like games are like Dream 3 Kingdoms 2, EA Sports FIFA, and you can say PUBG is there, Street Fighter 5 is there. So all these electronic games are included under this Asian Games. So you have to just remember exact place. It is China, and it is the 19th Asian Game which will be held in 2022. So exact place is Huangzhou, which is a province of the China. So remember this. So we are moving to the next question. Which state signed a MOU with the Dubai-based DP World company for an investment of rupees 2000 crore in the state? And this state government is Tamil Nadu. So answer of this question is B. So the government of Tamil Nadu, or you can say the chief minister is M.K. Stalin, signed a memorandum of understanding with Dubai-based DP World for an investment of 2000 crore to establish a series of projects in the Tamil Nadu, in the state of Tamil Nadu. And these projects are estimated to create job opportunities for more than 4,500 people, which includes 1,500 direct and 3,000 indirect employment. So definitely it will provide employment to the 4,500 people in Tamil Nadu. So this is 2,000 crore investment, and it is Dubai-based company which is known as DP World. And remember about Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu Chief Minister is M.K. Stalin, and new governor is R.N. Ravi, who was earlier the governor of Nagaland, but now the permanent governor of Tamil Nadu. And earlier the governor was Banwarilal Purohit, but now he is permanent governor of Punjab and also the administrator of Chandigarh. You can also remember this. Moving to next question, you can also see here DP World signs pact with the Tamil Nadu government for 2,000 crore projects and establish a container terminal, cold storage, and the seafood processing zone and free trade zone. So many projects are there, but you have to remember just the name of the company who is investing in the Tamil Nadu. Next, RBI announced the opening of the third cohort under the regulatory sandbox on which theme? First cohort was launched in 2019, second was in 2020. Now the third cohort, it means the third competition, is now launched in 2021. The theme, you have to remember the first cohort which was launched in 2019, the theme was retail payment. So this was the first cohort. And next is, you can say, cross-border payments. This was the second cohort which was launched in 2020. And third cohort which was launched now is the theme based on MSME lending. So answer of this question is C. So C is the answer. So you have to remember, because this question is very important for the banking students. RBI announced opening of the third cohort under regulatory sandbox. But first of all, you have to remember what is this regulatory sandbox. So it was launched in 2019, especially for the startups. It refers to live testing of the new projects or the services in a controlled regulatory environment for which regulators may or may not permit certain relaxations for the limited purpose of testing. So you can see here, Reserve Bank of India announced the opening of the third cohort under the regulatory sandbox on the theme MSME lending. So you have to remember this keyword here, regulatory sandbox. So it refers to a live testing of the new products or the services by the startups. And the objective of the regulatory sandbox is to foster responsible innovation in the financial services, promote efficiency, and bring benefit to the consumer. It also allows the regulator, innovators, financial service provider, and the customers to conduct field tests regarding the benefit and risk of the new financial innovation in the live testing. So that's why this is known as regulatory sandbox. So this was started by the RBI in the year of 2019. So the first cohort theme was retail payment, second cross-border payment. Now the focus is on MSME lending to provide best solution to the MSME lending. Moving to next question. India handed over Indian Navy's Dornier aircraft to which country on lease as a part of the Vision Sagar? So Sagar word is here important. This aircraft name is important, Dornier aircraft, and this is basically handed over by India on lease to which country? It is Mauritius. So answer of this question is B. So India handed over this Indian Navy's Dornier aircraft to Mauritius on lease as a part of Vision Sagar. What is the meaning of Sagar? It is security and growth for all in the region, So this is the Vision Sagar or the Mission Sagar. So you can see here, this is the Dornier aircraft, and it is handed over by India to the Mauritius as a Vision Sagar. And you can also remember this Vision Sagar was launched in the year of 2015. And India seeks to increase its relation with the maritime neighbors like Maldives, Sri Lanka, Mauritius, Seychelles, to deepen the economic security cooperation and build their maritime security capabilities. So India promises to cooperate on information exchange, coastal surveillance, and the building infrastructure. So another part of the Mission Sagar was launched in 2019 due to COVID-19. So Mission Sagar was launched in 2020, and it was India's initiative to deliver COVID-19 vaccines, COVID-19 related assistant or vaccine to the countries in the Indian Ocean littoral states. So you can also remember Mission Sagar, which was launched due to COVID-19, and it is Vision Sagar. It was launched in 2015. 2015. And remember about Mauritius. Mauritius capital is Port Louis. Port Louis. And currency is Mauritian rupee or the Mauritian rupee. And Prime Minister is Pravind Jagannath. So you can remember the name. Moving to next question. India-Africa Defence Dialogue in 2022 be held in which state? So I am giving you hint that this dialogue will be held with Defence Expo of 2022. If you know Defence Expo of 2022 will be hosted by which state, then you can answer very easily, because this India-Africa Defence Dialogue will be held simultaneously with Defence Expo. So answer of this question is Gujarat. Exact place, I think all the students know. Exact place is Gandhinagar. So you can remember Defence Expo of 2022 will be held in Gandhinagar in Gujarat. Gandhinagar is the Lok Sabha constituency of Amit Shah. You can see here Defence Minister Rajnath Singh to host Defence Ministers of the African nations in the next India-Africa Defence Dialogue on sidelines of the Defence Expo 2022, and it will be held in Gandhinagar, Gujarat. And it will be hosted by Union Minister Rajnath Singh ji, because it is a defense ministers meeting between India and Africa, and the theme is India-Africa adopting strategy for synergy and strengthening defense and security. So it will boost the existing partnership between Africa or the African countries and India, and it will explore new areas of the convergence for mutual engagements, which include capacity building, training, cyber security, maritime security, and the counter terrorism. And India also developing so much infrastructure in the African continent. So you have to remember this dialogue, which is India-Africa Defence Dialogue, will be held in 2022 on the sidelines of the Defence Expo that is scheduled to be held in Gandhinagar, Gujarat. And it is a biennial event. This Defence Expo earlier was in 2020, and it was in Lucknow. Moving to next question, but you can also remember what Rajnath Singh here, constituency is Lucknow. I think all the students know this. Next question is from picture, and the question is former Union Minister Oscar Fernandes passed away. So you have to remember former Union Minister and Congress leader Oscar Fernandes passed away in Karnataka. You have to remember the state that he belongs to. Which state? He belongs to Karnataka. And he was 80 years old, and he has served the Union Cabinet Minister of Transport. Road and Highways during the year of 2013-14 when Manmohan Singh was the Prime Minister. And he was selected as the Member of Parliament in Lok Sabha, and in the 1980s to 1996 he was the Member of Lok Sabha. And he was also the Member of Rajya Sabha from 1998 to 2021 from Karnataka. So you have to just remember Oscar Fernandes, this name is very important. He was the former Union Minister of Transport during the time period of Manmohan Singh government in the 2013-14, and he belongs to state of Karnataka. And he is also the founder of very famous NGO that is known as Jolly Club. This NGO provides library room facilities for the youth. This was also started by Oscar Fernandes in Karnataka. And you can also remember, if you are a student of Karnataka, the constituency of this person. The constituency is Udupi constituency. He was member of Lok Sabha from the Udupi constituency. Moving to next question, but all the most important and very important question ended. Now we are moving to the important question. You have to like this video, share this video, and subscribe this channel if you are new on this platform, and you can join our Telegram group from the description box link. Here is the question. What is the name of United States Special Presidential Envoy for Climate who recently visited India, especially for the focus of the climate change or for the environment protection? And this is John Kerry. So answer of this question is C. So you have to remember John Kerry was on a 2-day visit to India on September 12 to September 14, 2021. And the main focus of this visit was to meet the Government of India counterparts and private sector leaders to discuss efforts to raise global climate ambition and speed India's clean energy transition, because we have to achieve 175 gigawatt by the year of 2022 and 450 gigawatt by the year of 2030. And in this regard, bilateral meet was held where both sides discussed wide range of climatic issues relating to like COP26, which will be held in Glasgow, Scotland in November 2021, and climate ambition, climate finance, and so many things related to climate protection. And it is John Kerry, you have to remember, special presidential envoy from the United States for climate in India visited, and the name is John Kerry. But you can also remember other appointeds here, like Dr. Vivek Murthy. He was recently appointed as Surgeon General of US President Biden administration. Antony Blinken, very famous post, Secretary of State. He was recently appointed as Secretary of State of Biden's administration. Neera Tanden, very important appointment. She was appointed as senior advisor to the US President Joe Biden. Remember, this name is very important. Neera Tanden is important. Senior advisor to US President. You can also see here the picture of John Kerry, and he was US climate envoy. You have to remember this word. Move to one-liner important point, and here is the first point. Former Indian footballer and Mohan Bagan, captain Vahabani Roy passed away. You have to just remember the name of this player, Vahabani, and especially the West Bengal student you have to remember because he belongs to West Bengal. And he was very famous player of Mohan Bagan because he represented in 1966 and played for the club till 1972. It means he played for this club for 7 years almost. Mohan Bagan, very famous football club. And he made his international debut in the Merdeka Cup in 1969 and represented Indian national team in 3 matches under this World Cup. And Mohan Bagan Athletic Club is an Indian professional sports club based in Calcutta, West Bengal, and it was founded in 1889. So you have to just remember the name of this player, and his profession is football. Next is Dr. Bharti Praveen Pawar inaugurated the Digital Population Clock at IEG. So you have to just remember it is Institute of Economic Growth, IEG, Institute of Economic Growth inside the University of Delhi. And Dr. Bharti Praveen Pawar, she is currently the Minister of State under the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. So you have to just remember this one-liner point. Next, Telangana Language Day 2021 was celebrated on 9th of September, especially the Telangana and the border states you have to remember. Telangana Language Day was celebrated on 9th of September to mark the birth anniversary of eminent Telangana poet and also the Padam awardee named as Kaloji Narayan Rao. Kaloji Narayan Rao. So this is just to mark the birth anniversary of this eminent Telangana poet named as Kaloji or Kaloji Narayan Rao. And this 2021 marks the 107th birth anniversary of this eminent poet Kalaji N. Rao. And the first Telangana Language Day was celebrated in the year of 2015, and the government of Telangana has honored a very famous poet known as Penna Shiva Ramakrishnan with the Kaloji Samraka Puraskaram Award 2021 for his contribution to the various genres of the modern Telugu literature. So this award was started earlier by the government of Telangana. So this award is basically given to this very eminent poet known as Penna Shivarama Krishna. Next, government appointed 10 merchant bankers of top companies for managing initial public offer of LIC. Because you have to know about LIC that we have to privatize LIC, and the government of India has appointed 10 merchant bankers for managing initial public offer of Life Insurance Corporation. The IPO of LIC will be launched in the month of January to March in the year of 2022. It means the between first 3 months, the IPO will be launched. And the work for the merchant bankers in case of IPO is management of promotional activities, credit syndication, project counseling, and the portfolio management. So it is not so much important. Next, Insurance Regulatory Development Authority of India approves composite broking license to the Hero Insurance Broking. Again, this question is not important, but you have to remember IRDI is being provided to Hero Insurance Broking India. This license is provided, and it will allow the firm to offer reinsurance broking and risk management consultancy services to the corporate clients. So you have to just read this word Hero Insurance Broking. Next, climate change to force 216 million people to migrate from their countries by the year of 2050. It is a report of World Bank. So according to this report, climate change could force more than 216 million people from 6 regions like South Asia, Latin America, Sub-Saharan Africa, East Asia and the Pacific, and the North Africa and the Eastern Europe and the Central Asia to migrate from their own countries by the year of 2050. So the report acts as a reminder of the effects of human activity on climate change, especially on the world's poorest countries. So you have to just remember this data if you want, otherwise examiner will not ask directly this data. But remember about World Bank here. World Bank was established in 1944 with one organization which is also known as IMF, International Monetary Fund, and both the organization IMF and World Bank known as Bretton Woods twins. Bretton Woods twins. And World Bank president is David R. Malpass, and headquarters is in Washington DC. Washington DC. And how many countries are member? 189 countries are member. So now we are moving to the question. Question of the 14th of September 2021 was, which plan gave emphasis on the removal of poverty for the first time? So removal of poverty, or the slogan in Hindi, it is known as Garibi Hatao. Garibi Hatao was first gave by Indira Gandhi in 1971, but the plan was going on, so that's why it was not included under the fourth 5-year plan. So first time it was included in the fifth 5-year plan. So remember, first time it was included in the fifth 5-year plan. So answer of this question is 2. Fifth 5-year plan was 1974 to 1979. So it laid the stress on the employment, poverty eradication, and justice. And the plan also focused on the self-reliance in agriculture production and the defense. So first time this slogan was given in 1971, but the plan, fourth 5-year plan was ongoing, like 1969 to 1974. So this was not included in 5-year plan in the 1971. So this was the fourth. But first time it was included in the fifth 5-year plan. So this is also important that first time this is given by Indira Gandhi in 1971. So moving to question of the day, what is the question? Who coined the term Hindu rate of growth for the Indian economy? So very important question, even the most important question, because this question, Hindu rate of growth, was asked so many times by SSC. So remember this, and even this is asked in the RB exam also. So you can remember this is most important question. So I am waiting your answer. You have to tell me answer within comment box. Please like this video, share this video as maximum as possible, and please subscribe this channel if you are new on this platform. You have to press this bell button, and you can join our Telegram group for the further notification. And it is a Affairs Club promise that it will boost your confidence in the general awareness section. And don't take life so much serious. Life is fun. Always be happy like this smiley. Thank you guys. Take care and bye bye.